Good morning, everyone. I hope you are all well and having a lovely weekend. So this morning, I wanted to pop on and do a mini energy clearing and maybe just a wee bit of an exploration and a little chat about being who you truly are, right? And how I'm going to explore a little bit about how we are so conditioned in many ways to try and be something or someone, and how that even when we're trying to be authentic, even when we're trying to be ourselves, even when we're trying to show up in our business in the most purest, authentic way with our clients, that many things can get in the way, and a lot of it is old conditioning. And how certain, sometimes even the way that you're taught, or even sometimes when you're trying to build your business or whatever, we can get pulled into certain things that makes us it makes us maybe it triggers us to do certain things. So what does being who you truly are mean? Well, I suppose we all know at a core level we are this essence of God, right? But the reality is every single one of us are very unique in our journey. We're very unique in our essence and all the gifts and skills and experience and wisdom that we have to bring to the world. And who we are best suited to serve, right? And who we are best suited to serve often changes on our journey, right? There are sometimes there'll be certain people you will always tend to attract, but often certain things shifts, and that shifts in relation to our level of awareness. The more that we can own our uniqueness, own our power, and be more of ourselves. And it's the more that we can unlock certain gifts and natural abilities that in many ways we've shut down or that we do not totally value. One of the things that I see a lot is so many people undervaluing some of the most important gifts and natural traits in their business. And I was certainly, for a very long time, I was one of those people. Until I started to, about 10 years ago, explore. So I don't know what's going on, but my screen keeps jumping up and down. I was very much like that. I didn't recognize what was really truly important to my clients and even contractors until I actually started to explore more branding with archetypes. I had studied about archetypes about 25 years ago, and I loved, I was someone that had studied psychology, psychotherapy, and worked with a lot of different types of healers, therapists, and spiritual teachers. And when I started to take it to a different level and for my own personal work, something clicked. But even before it clicked, I have to be honest, at the time, myself and my friend David were doing the archetype course together at the same time, and it was quite interesting because I already knew actually about archetypal branding and marketing for a variety of reasons, but this was a kind of deep dive. And I remember at the time, when I found out what my main brand archetype was, and it was almost like I didn't want to. It was like, is that it? It wasn't that. There was actually great power in it, but because it was the person I already knew who I was, to me it was boring. To me, when I found out I was the caregiver, and the nurturer was turned out to be my main personal archetype, and my power, we call it superpower archetype, and my main dominant archetype in my business at that time, and it still actually is, it was like I wanted to be something else. And it's so interesting because I was never someone who was ever jealous of other people's gifts to that degree. And I don't know if that was because I come from a family of 9 and I'm the eldest of 9 and we're all so different. I never really had any hang-ups that way. I just did what I was here to do. And I've never really been that way competitive. I'm so glad I have. And also, I think in my business, particularly when I started out, I had to do things very different. And in many ways, because of my health challenges and my circumstances, I was very detached from a lot of other people that were doing certain work. So I just did what I felt I was guided to do in the way that I could do it. But when I done this, I must admit, when I first it was like almost a bit of resistance. And there was also a lot of healing to it because I had to accept things within my archetype that need healed. And one of that at that time was it come up for me right away, being a strong nurturer, not actually having children. Most people who knows me always comment how I was great with kids, and for some reason kids always flocked me. And it was one of the reasons I think I get asked to do a lot of work with children. I taught in meditation schools and different things. I used to teach holistic therapies and do all sorts of things, and I get asked to do nurseries and everything. And my own nieces and nephews still to this day call me the wee Auntie Eileen, and there's this sort of, we always think there's this childlike aspect. People that know me think there's a wee bit of a kind of childlike aspect to me that comes out around children. And we all have that. But some of us we find it more natural to do things. And I'll give you an example where how sometimes this shows up in our life and how other people can feel threatened by that. When I did some of the work that I did, some of the work I also worked with young people, and I was brought in by the NHS and things to do complementary therapies in certain types of clinics. And that was to encourage young people to come in. And I remember at one point, they brought in a new community education work, and I didn't see what was going on, but there was lots of things that she's tried to start, cancelling my work, saying that they didn't need me that week, and she wasn't even my boss, but it was a bit strange. And then I discovered through the kids came and told me that they felt she was jealous of me, and that she kept asking them why they liked me and why they went and they would chat to me and things like that. And I actually felt really sorry for her because at the time this woman was trying to adopt. She was trying very hard, and it was very clear that she was trying so hard to get these young people to like her. She was trying to reach out to them, and she was trying so hard that it wasn't working. She was actually repelling them. And there she couldn't understand why the kids naturally formed relationships with me, naturally felt comfortable and trusted me. And sometimes that's what happens. Sometimes in business, we can try too hard. Sometimes we want to do something, and that want to do something overrides our natural ability just to be ourselves, because we, for whatever reason, sometimes we're motivated by passion, but that maybe sometimes just goes overboard. Sometimes we're motivated by fear. Sometimes, it's in all different aspects of the ego, and sometimes it's an insecurity. We think we need to be seen a certain way. We need to be, it's almost like we think if we have to take on a certain role, that there are certain things. And one of the things that I learned the hard way, in my own personal circumstances, also as a teacher to many people, was that the holistic and spiritual sector is, in many ways, has a large reputation for sometimes the way that people are taught. Many things today are still taught fast track. And even if you don't think you've done a fast track course, in many ways, a lot of things are still fast track because they don't always cover lots of aspects within things that I do think that maybe we should as healers and coaches and therapists. And one of those things is that we all come in as the wounded healer. And coming in as the wounded healer, there can be that bit that we want to rescue everybody. And if you hear, for example, someone saying they want to heal everyone, or they want to share their tool and technique with everyone, with the whole world, you know that there's an aspect to that wounding. And it's also when people also don't recognize that not every person is their ideal client or soul client. No matter what you think you can do, or no matter what tools you use, just because you offer something, just because you have a certain level of skill, training, doesn't mean that everyone that has a problem that you solve means that they're ideal for you. It may not be ideal for them. And one of the things I should maybe share to get you to see where I'm coming from is some of the teachers that I most admire, and and even healers and therapists that I've most admired through my own experience, has been those who have said to me, I'm not sure if I'm the right person for you, or I could try, but maybe blah, blah, blah. Or maybe they've said and they've asked. So I remember Dr. Can, I've done quite a lot of courses with her. And I'm someone that utilises a large part of my week into my own spiritual development. And I'm always seeking people that are, that are far more evolved and experienced in certain areas than I am. And I remember when I went to start doing stuff, and I think it's about 8 years ago, maybe a wee bit longer. But and then I went and done another course with her, and I remember she was doing certain sessions, and one of the things that she does, which I'm so glad she does, and I think more and more people should do this, particularly healers, is that before she even books you in or considers you for a personal client, she checks in with source to say, is she the right person for, is basically, and it's permission. She asks for permission to work with you. And it's interesting, a lot of people that were taught with her and work with her. Now, I've done lots of courses, but I didn't do a practitioner training or anything like that, because some of what she was teaching, some of the practitioner training was actually other things that I had been taught. But she does a lot of quite evolved training, and particularly for psychic, well, she used to, for psychic attachments and all that type of thing. And one of the things is it's very, very important to her that she gets permission. And it came up quite a few times that she wasn't given permission, and she'd said that none of her students were getting permission to work with me, and it was really important that they didn't do certain work with me. So I was able to do her courses, her self-study courses, but to actually work in my energetic field, they were not given permission. And sometimes as healers, because we want to help, we assume that everyone were there to help everyone else. And again, this is why sometimes we try to be all things for all people, and we're not here to be all things for all people. And if you tend to take things personally, if someone chooses not to go with you or chooses not to have a healing session or a coaching session with you, it's important that you clear that and that you work in that, because the reality is we are all here for different reasons. We're all part of the big jigsaw. And you may not understand why a client chooses not to work with you. And often it's nothing to do with you. And what I mean is, I meet so many beautiful healers, coaches, and therapists in my journey. And sometimes I'll refer them on to other people, maybe friends, family, but maybe I wouldn't go to them myself for whatever reason, right? Now, that is not that I do not value what they do. I recognise what they do. But maybe for personal reasons, I feel that someone else is more suitable. It's just like when I choose a teacher, I'm very, very fussy. I'm one of the most fussiest people, but I've learned the hard way. And also sometimes during a session, I'm having a chat with therapists or healers, or maybe I'm offering, extra support, or maybe, someone I've got friendly and they'll offer me. And sometimes I can feel obliged. But just because they offer and just because they think that that's the right thing to do, that doesn't mean it's the right thing for me. And it's the same for you. It's so important. And when we learn how to stop getting out of this rescue mode, and believe me, I still fall into the rescue mode sometimes with my clients when I'm trying to do other things for them because I can do it, right? But when it comes to deep work, when it comes to deep spiritual work, that's why I think soul clients are really, really important. And it's why I'm going to do a little mini clearing today. This is just a mini energy clearing on things that may be coming up for you at the moment that is stopping you being truly who you are, that is getting in the way, that is sabotaging your ability to show up just the way you are. And it's not just because, you're a powerful, this powerful God spark with this amazing energy. One of the things is that when I'm really deep diving with clients, because I actually feel and see often the energy field, and I see and I sense fragments. It's not even fragments, but it's the flow. It's almost like you're feeling the flow, you're sensing aspects, and I can sense aspects of how evolved they are, how awakened, and what's coming through, what is their energy. Sometimes there's a very strong masculine, sometimes they're very gentle and soft. And also that's why I love archetypes, because I'm a very visual person. I have a very strong, clear cognizance, and I get my messages and my intuitive messages more on a real soul level, a connection. So it tends not to be as much, from guides and things like that. It's a very soul connection. So it comes in very strong and sharp. But what does come through in a more, I suppose, creative way, is almost like I'm seeing, I'm feeling energy, and I get this excitement because I'm capturing the essence of perhaps that person's business or them. And if you could see how I feel and sense that energy, you would look at yourself in a completely different way. Yeah, sometimes when people have got blocks, they're coming on and they're frustrated and they're angry, it's hard to tell, or they're trying to, again, be something. I don't always feel that, because they are, again, it's society. Sometimes when, for example, when people are maybe doing another job while they're doing their therapies, they have two hats, right? And they can block that because they've actually put on a face, and they don't even realize that they've put a face and they're fitted into a role in their other job. And because they're so embedded in that role, and maybe, they're a mother, they're a manager, and what happens is that energy is so they're so embedded into that for so long, and they take on that role so much, and they're so over-identify with that role, that sometimes when they're coming in to do the work, the energy's not coming through. But when I do feel people's essence, and when I feel it from a free flowing, not what they're trying to prove to me that they are, right? Or not when they're trying to prove to their clients that they are, but when they're just being who they actually are, it's beautiful. It's magical. And it's a beautiful feeling to work with, right? When you can feel people on a soul level, right? So every single one of you have these, have a beautiful soul gifts, but many people are trying too hard to be something that they're not, when they actually are not owning who they truly are. So what I would like you to do is just to, it's up to yourself. I would say it's probably better maybe with this session doing it upright than lying down. As I said, it is a short clean, but it is an energy clearing, and it's important we get grounded. So let's sit upright, okay? Close your eyes and just relax. And as you relax, I want you just to let go of the need to be anything. let go of the need to do anything. I'm just going to call in some protection because there's many people in this group. There's a lot of things going on energetically at the moment. What we'd like you to do is to connect into your heart. Take a nice deep breath in and really connect into your heart. As you connect into your heart, I want you to feel with your heart. And it's almost like you're feeling into, it's like a cavity, a tunnel, a never-ending tunnel of light. And I want you just to feel into that. And I want you to let go of, it's almost like out of your head with this and just feel. It's like being still. And in many ways, being in that state of being, you are focusing on the feeling. So you're being present, but you're being fully present with the sense of feeling. And you're feeling a sense of love. And that cavity within your heart is a cavity that goes deep into your soul. It's like a pathway that connects into the soul. And it's almost that as you allow yourself to feel that love, it's almost like, in many ways, it's like a door, but I'm seeing it as like a tunnel. It is like a tunnel that is opening up layers of light. And as you feel into that deep, deep state of love, you're being transported into another deep state of love. And it's like there's layers, and you're just being naturally moved deeper and deeper. And as you're moving deeper and deeper into the heart and the soul, your heart is expanding, your light is expanding. And it begins with the large golden ball of light in the center of your heart and your body. It's expanding, and as it expands, it doesn't just expand lengthwise or widthwise, but every tiny particle of light is vibrating higher and higher. The vibration is getting higher and higher as the light gets lighter and lighter. As you let go of any heaviness, any fear, any distractions. If you let go of any disconnection that you've had with your heart and your soul, as you move in to a higher dimension of light, your soul and your heart is ready to enter. Now I want you to connect your heart and soul up into your pineal gland. And I want you to imagine there's a large, beautiful ball of light within the head. And that love and light from your heart, that love, that deep love that you feel, is entering all the neural pathways, and it's moving through every particle, the cell, the neural pathway, your memory pathway, to your nervous system, your sympathetic, your parasympathetic. It's moving through all dimensions. It's moving through your past, your present, through your Akashic lines, through different timelines. That light and love is moving through your ancestral line. And it's almost like you are this tree of light. And that tree of light is connecting from the light right up to the highest, most magical, purest dimensions of love and light, right up to the universe. And you're only drawing in the highest dimensions of love and light, nothing else. It's really important you don't bring anything else into this session. And as you connect into the highest dimensions of love and light, you're making a connection then from the heart right down into Mother Earth. Making that connection into the awakened part of Mother Earth. The highest dimensions of Mother Earth. The soul, the purest soul, heart and soul of Mother Earth. I want you to feel that energy, that beautiful energy, the purest, awakened heart element of Mother Earth. And then connect into your own heart and feel that your heart and your soul to be nurtured and supported by Mother Earth. You are enough. You're more than enough. You're a miracle. And as you honor that miracle, you recognize that you are a miracle of magic, of possibilities. And you have a special purpose, like everyone in this group. You all have your own unique special purpose at that time. And you don't have to be anyone or anything. You are already what you are here to be. And of course, you will evolve. And your next step, that might slightly change. But right now, you are exactly what you're meant to be and here to be. And as you own that magic and miracles, I want you to connect up to the highest dimensions of heaven, the highest dimensions of love and light. And thank the heavens, thank the highest dimensions of love and light, and the helpers in the universe, the highest dimensions, for all the support and guidance, even when you don't even realize you're getting it. And allow yourself to be a channel for that light. And allow yourself to expand, expand, expand. And I'm going to just do a few things as I'll just allow you to let yourself be open to that channel of heaven and earth. What I want you to do is every single one of you is to imagine you're in your own pod of light. And in this beautiful egg, beautiful pod of light. and hold my selenite at the moment while we're doing this. I want you to really imagine that you're in this, it's almost like you're in this little pod, and I'm saying it's like selenite that you're in, right? You're in this light magnifier. But it's almost like, you know, when water and you can boil water, and I'm not saying that you get boiled, but when water reaches a certain temperature, it removes the dirt, it removes certain aspects that can fall away, that can move, right? And we go through different stages when we're ready. I want you to allow that connection to go deep, deep into your soul. Not having an earth connection to help you let go of any fragments that you're holding on to that no longer serves you and doesn't belong to you. We can often hold on to roles, titles, things that other people have given us, or things that we think we should use, right, that are often not aligned. So let's let go of, just for this present moment, any attachment to identities that may not be serving us, attachments to any roles, titles, even qualifications and experience, things that you felt were you. When we're in the flow, when we're allowing ourselves to be a channel of light and a channel for guidance, if we truly want to be a soul-aligned business, we have to have the ability to every day step up and be guided from the soul rather than the ego and the mind. So it's so important that we allow attachment to certain things dissolve so that we can be that pure channel. So I'm just going to say a few things just to help you let go of anything at the moment that may be interfering with you being true and who you are. I command, and I want you just to repeat this into yourself, or out if you want. I command that anything that is not of my highest being, that is of my highest path, leave now and forever. I command that anything that's not of my highest being, from my highest path, leave now and forever. I command anything that is not of my highest being, my highest path, leave now and forever. I transmute and transcend all identities that no longer serve me. I transmute and transcend any identities that no longer serve me. I transmute and transcend any identities that no longer serve me. I release any karmic bonds or contracts that no longer serve me. I release any karmic bonds and contracts that no longer serve me. I release any karmic bonds and contracts that no longer serve me. I release and transcend any psychic, spiritual, or any ET interference. I release any psychic, spiritual, or any ET interference. I release any psychic, spiritual, and ET interference. I recall all soul power and soul strength. I recall all soul power and soul strength. I recall all soul power and soul strength at this time. I release and transmute any guides or any attachments that are not of my highest good. I release and transcend any attachments or guides that is not of my highest good. I release and transcend any attachments or guides that are not of my highest good. I recall all of my soul gifts and soul power. I recall all of my soul gifts and soul power. I recall all of my soul gifts and soul power. And I want you to reconnect. I mean, you're still connected, but I want you just to consciously reconnect to heaven and earth and feel this rainbow of light transmuting through your heart, your soul, your energetic field, your pineal gland, your pituitary gland. I want to imagine that it's going through all timelines and it's helping you connect to the higher dimensions of light. Helping you have the courage to let go of anything that's no longer serving you. Maybe that's tools, techniques, certain ways of doing things, certain ways of being, any fear, sabotage. I want you to bring in the energy of trust, love and faith. Let's bring in that again. Let's bring in the energy of love, trust and faith. And again, energy of love, trust and faith. And what I want you to do is take your left hand and put your left hand, your palm upright, right? As if you are receiving energy. And with your right hand, so you're doing this, and then with your right hand, you are sending out energy. So you imagine that anyone that ever takes part in this session, listens to this session, is all connected and we're in a circle, as if we're around a table, around a circle, and you're receiving with your left hand and you're sending out energy. And this is not about sending out healing, it's sending out love. Okay, I want you just to allow your heart to expand, and I want you to get into your heart and soul and just allow love to transmute into the energy of the group. Feel your heart expand. And if you need a little bit of a little trigger to really get that heart going, think about something that you absolutely love. Maybe a little child, a baby, maybe a favorite animal, something you love, someone that you love dearly, something that really lights you up. And just allow that love and appreciation for everything that you have in life, and all the gifts that you've been given in life. Allow your heart to feel that as you allow that love to expand into the group. And as it expands and you allow that love to move through the group, you allow yourself to receive. It's so important that we have the ability to receive. So many healers struggle to receive. And allow that love to come back, that deep, deep appreciation from you and for the work that you're doing. And let's allow the light beings and the highest angels and the highest dimensions of love, as we thank them and we open our heart and we show them deep appreciation for the support that they give us on a daily basis, for all the work that they do, that they actually are thanking us and supporting us and giving us that love. And as we allow that to penetrate every cell, every atom, and every layer and every dimension, we have a foot in and even a view in. Let's raise that vibration. And let's hold and anchor in that vibration into the etheric field in our different layers within our body, our psychic fields. And let's also center in our soul. So our soul stays in our body, right? And we're not, because sometimes healers, healers sometimes don't realize what they're doing. They're actually fragmenting their soul into other people. They're either a sense of control or whatever. But let's call in your soul power and your soul strength. And don't give your power over to other teachers and healers or coaches, because sometimes it's so easy. I've seen this particularly the last few years, everything that's went on, seeing how people can really give their power over. So please don't give your power over. Hold your power, hold your light, and just embed that into your soul, into the core of your being. And remember that exactly who you are is who you're supposed to be. And you don't have to have fancy titles. You don't have to, I am all for getting the right skills and tools for certain things. But the reality is that the core of your being, who you are, can do some of the most powerful gifts, because often clients are attracted to more of the natural gifts, other than obviously there's certain things they may need help with and they need the right, someone maybe at a certain level of experience or skill. But what attracts people is your essence, right? And your level of awakening or awareness, or the energy that they need at that point. And if you're trying to be someone else, you're not showing up as the energy that you actually already are, that actually they would be attracted to. So just anchor into your body, anchor into the earth, allow that earth, it's like almost you're anchoring your energy so that you are connecting with the earth, and you recognize that Mother Earth is supporting you, you're supporting them. It's a two-way process, and that's important in your business. And remember, you are like this tree, and let's just finish it off by lighting that tree up into gold. And as we send out gold through our right hand to others, we bring it back in. Now, one of the things that I like to do when I remember is when I'm giving, when I'm paying someone or buying something, I give it with deep appreciation, and I send out love for that person, and treat it like I love being able to invest in other people. I love to be able to invest in other things in my business, and that gives me gratitude, and it comes back. It's so easy when you maybe financially feel as if you're struggling, or you're in that, that view perspective, or you're coming from a place of lack, to not come from that place. But let's open up that level that we want to give, and we give with absolute grace, and let's have that grace as the color of gold, and we allow that grace to come back in. Okay. And then just anchor in, ground in, ground in. Center in, and let's feel your feet and your feet, your ankles and your ankles, your calves and your calves, your knees and your knees, your hips and your hips, your legs and your legs, your tummy and your tummy, your back and your back, your heart and your heart, your chest and your chest, your arms and your arms, your hands and your hands, your neck and your neck, your face and your face, your head and your head. And then just slowly, at your own time, come back. You're very welcome, Claire. Just going to stop the recording, reach out with us.